I was just riding a horse and a creeper just sucked me in and blew both of us up. That was a good horse, too. Hey everybody, it's Sam again. So in the previous episode, I invested pretty much a whole day working on the Tigers Construct smelter here. But I can tell you one thing. Despite how much of a pain it was to craft this thing, it's so worth making the bronze tools at the end of it. Now, in between episodes, off camera and whatnot, I've been doing a lot of clearing. After I modified my axe and the shovel and all the other tools with redstone and diamonds, I decided to go ahead take advantage of this opportunity to start doing a mass clearing of all the bushes around this tree here. And I've been digging up some dirt and relocating the dirt into other places too as well. So in this episode, I'm going to be very focused on working towards the starter base, so that way I have a nice place to start off with as I expand the automation. Within the quests here, I've jumped ahead and made a bunch of other things. Like I finally completed the crafting for the steam furnace, isn't it? Yeah, the coal boiler. Excuse me. So because of that, I'm able to advance to tier 0.5 just to make steam with. So at some point, I will be focused on working with all these here, but that's some other episode. Here, I just want to get this tree going and ready and just personalize so that way I have a nice place to live with instead of going back and forth between a quickly slammed together home. But yeah, I'll definitely be filling out a lot of dirt, and I'll likely be planning out the size of the farm ring that I was telling you all about for the terrarium that I want to make for the starter base. So in the meantime, I'll be filling up dirt, and you guys will be seeing it through this following time lapse. Okay, so this is some heavy progress done on this here. So I've wound up burning through a lot of bronze just to get this ring built up and plowed. I got a lot of oak logs, and even me outlining this whole ring with oak logs, I'm still not putting a major dent in the oak logs I have currently in storage. Meantime, I got these plants set up. I actually transferred some of the remaining plants that I've compiled up into some chests up in the center tree. I've started to dig around the tree a little bit more in the interior. I'm going to be eventually be engaging to a slow process of moving all my belongings that I have by the riverside to here. And really, that river is pretty much getting ready to lose its purpose now that I got the ring set up. However, throughout time, though, I will be filling up the internal water reservoir of the ring more with buckets of water, though. I can't do the infinite water bucket trick with this because, well, this is GTNH. Infinite water sources are pretty much disabled, at least in the vanilla way. There might be another way of getting infinite water. But, in the meantime, I let all the plants grow. With how much I've established, I'm expecting a quick return investment here, though I am a little short on food for the moment. There may be plants that I've forgotten to replant. If that be the case, then I'll be noticing myself over time to be real short on that quantity of plants, but... Ender Creeper. I haven't aggravated one of those yet, but I dread the day that I do. Anyways, back to what I was saying about the plants. I'll definitely be keeping track of how many plants I get to see what I've planted, what I already haven't planted. I will want to eventually get more plants like wheat, stuff like that. And I definitely found some plants that I've missed too as well. Now, realizing that I have a farm here set up with here, it's going to start clogging up inventory space in the chests up there eventually if I get very proactively farming things. So I'm going to eventually want to make like a little storage shed for all the plants here, making use of the drawer system, which each 4 slots of 1 drawer block being a plant type. So that's a quick little plan to build within the ring here. As time progresses along, I will be adding more outside of the ring, and I will be start building like a glass dome to cover up the whole tree and all and whatnot. I also want to make this area a little bit flourished with plant life too as well. I'm looking at some berry bushes and think about relocating a few berry bushes and putting them in here, as well as turning some trees into fruit trees. And have a lot of them being here too as well, and a little bit outside of the ring as well. But yeah, I'll definitely be starting the glass dome, probably a little bit past the farming ring. So that way it's a good large dome that looks like it's very proportional to the height of the tree. So yeah, this so far, things are coming together with this tree and all. Now I just gotta start carving out the interior of the tree a bit to make the home out of it. I will want to make some shears at some point though, just to harvest some of the leaves from the interior. Like, don't get me wrong, I could just plow through it real fast with this brawn hatchet here, but that destroys leaves. I need the leaves to be able to fill in the holes and other wood spots that are bare, because I don't want this to be a very woody looking tree. I still want this to look very leafy. So I'm going to make myself some shears at some point to mitigate that concern. In the meantime, I'm going to be transferring some things around. In the process of doing this, though, too, as well, I actually managed to make the river a little nicer, too, as well. Even though it's still a flowing mess here and there, I've took what's at the bottom of the river and just replaced as much at the top. I think I might be able to easily have that resolved through the industrial craft fluid cells. I'll have to see what's up, because if I'll car it with IC2's fluid cells, I'm able to place a fluid block on top of a fluid block, unlike how a Minecraft bucket handles its fluids. I want to return this river, at least at the surface, to how it was before, so that way it looks untouched and clean looking. That's just me liking to have a good looking place. My philosophy is have everything look natural as possible without taking too much from it. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to start slowly moving everything from this side to over there. I haven't fully decided where to put the coal coke ovens yet, and even then, I want to consume all the creosote oil inside of them before I even move them, so that we know that creosote oil goes to waste. Similar deal with the Tinker's Forge here, the smeltery here. I want to move this too as well, but I'm going to have to make some fluid tanks to get all this excessive fluid out of here. So I have a small plan laid out already to do with this. And I'm going to go mix myself some shears and start to work on the interior of that tree. Alright, so a good amount of progress has been done with the treehouse. So this is pretty much the second story now, with the bedroom they're being forced first. So I got the chest relocated from the riverside to here. I've managed to spread out the second story here of the treehouse to, actually third floor, I should say, if we're counting the entry. But yeah, I made more chests just for future storage expansion. While at the same time just laying out all the wood flooring and all, and trying to make sure that all the leaves are staying covered at all sides. And so far things are coming together when it comes to getting the farming together. Like the tree here, I mean, it's coming together, but I definitely need to invest some time into making it look more natural, because with how I'm trying to keep this room enclosed, it's definitely going to it looks too clean for a tree. In the meantime, I've already reaped a major harvest off these crops, and I'm definitely getting more food than I'll be needing. At the rate I'm going, I won't have to be farming things very often. So as long as I'm able to get a far range of variety of food, I should be good to go and not have to farm things very often. In the meantime, I've got a huge cotton farm going here. I may expand the cotton farm a little bit further in the future, depending on what's going on. But in the meantime, I'll let the farm over at the riverside intact. The coal coke ovens and the smeltery, I'm going to have to find some fluid tanks to completely empty those at some point before I move them. I do not want any of the creosote oil or the metal inside the smeltery going to waste. So these things here are not going to be moving anytime soon. With that being said, though, I should probably snag these furnaces. And realizing the fact I need to relocate these, I probably should refrain from smelting another batch of coal coke. But yeah, so far, other than a few areas that are looking a little too straight, trees coming together well. Got the storage floor. The other floors up above will probably be specialized crafting rooms. Depends on what's going on with throughout the mod pack. Maybe a little bit Botania. I'll know more in the future. I did plan on adding like a roadway around this tree, branching off the 4 spots with 4 additional pathways. Go around to each pathway, which the lily pads and stairs line up at. Tell one thing, this was a lot of work to have this set up, but so far things are looking nice. Now, depending on what's going on here, I may be able to do more with the quests and all. After all, I have made a steam boiler, so I should be able to start making all the steam automation. I just need to decide where to put all this before I start expanding even further. But yeah, I can probably make more advanced alloys at some point with this. And I can use steam to cook things too as well, which probably means steam-powered smelting things. I'll have to browse around and see what I can before I decide what to do next, depending on what I'm able to do in this episode. Because after all, I spent a fair amount of time recording time lapses and whatnot for the home here. But in the meantime, I'm taking a break from this. I've moved the majority of my operations to here, so I'm happy with that. It's a big task itself, but nah. This is a good task to be tickled about to have completed. Anyways, I'll let y'all know on what I decide next. Okay, so I've got some things here pretty much set up now, so I decided what to do next. Get the small boilers and stuff going. I'm going to get some alloy smelters and some furnaces going using steam power here. Plus, too, I'll be able to use all the cold stuff to keep this powered up and all that. Just by one little block here. Though, something I do have to take into account for, though. This thing needs to be filled up with water all the time. From what I've understood, these things can actually explode when they run out of water. So I'll have to keep a close eye on that. So I'll definitely be get on cracking once I get enough of these bricks going. See y'all then. Okay, so I've just put together a quick setup for the steam alloy smelter and the boiler. Playing around with it a little bit. Best advice I can give about this, have a large amount of steam cached up. The reason being is, this thing consumes steam faster than what the boilers can produce. Oh, so I have to manually disconnect that. Seems to me this... Oh. Did I just blow out all that steam? That's good to know. No, I still got about 5 buckets worth of steam in there. Yeah, I definitely see it's working, but I need to make darn sure that that I can pile a large amount of steam. I'm going to have to actually produce like a large buffer of a sort to store the steam in mass. This way I can keep this thing going for long periods of time. I just did a test run with it and was able to produce like 4 ingots worth of bronze with it. But even with this steam cache and with this pipe picking cache, that's not much. Yeah, I could use coal coke with this, but I had coal at the time, so I just wanted to see how this whole thing works. It doesn't suck up water real fast. I have done some digging around, and you are able to build some hoppers. What's the deal with this here? Ah, so the high pressure steam boiler requires even more steam. Okay. I ain't there yet. But yeah, just starting off the bronze set of machines before working up towards steel. Yeah, I definitely want to get like a lot of steam production going before I go gung-ho with this. But meantime, this is a temporary setup for me. Just enough to make bronze with. In the smeltery over there, I was able to produce more bronze. Found some additional lava. Alright. Doesn't tell me whether or not this is caching steam up or not. But I at least have a way of producing another option for producing the ingots, the bronze ingots. But I'm gonna have to hold off at that. Another thing that I'm not liking too is the fact that this thing isn't exactly caching things up. It's always constantly on the run regardless on what I have stored on here. So I have to limit the amount of fuel that goes into this. Can I make a tank? So ring screw, I need one clear glass. Please don't tell me to make obsidian with this. I ain't got obsidian with this yet. I mean, this bronze pickaxe is able to go to obsidian level without the without the without the head. I'm gonna have to play more of this off camera because this is clearly going to take me a while to work out my head. Not to mention I still got more planning around to do. But yeah, this is pretty much basic steam automation with GTNH using GregTech. So add a fuel. So I guess as long as it's hot with water, still will produce steam regardless what I do. Alright, that's cool to know. Well, anyway, y'all, I think this pretty much wraps up this episode, so I'll get more comfortable with handling all the steam alloy stuff. But until then, see y'all later on.